Vantage Point with True North Wealth Partners is for our clients and those wanting to learn more about what's really going on within the markets and economy, as well as overall financial planning topics.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vantage Point with True North Wealth Partners. It's Friday, September 17th. I'm Andy Smith.
Eric Susie. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
TGIF.
Yeah, finally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, some nice weather out there.
Yes. Golfing weather?
It is, not for me.
I know, nor for I. I hear you. We'd like to, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll try to get out one time before the year's out.
That's right. It'd be fun.
Good.
All right, so how you doing?
Not bad. Plugging away, staying busy. You know how it is. Just chopping out the wood, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Well, we have a lot today, so let's sort of set the table here. So we have one of our strategic partners. It's Fetchero Insurance Agency. So Kip will be here at the back half, so please stick around for that. Just talking about the importance of insurance overall to your financial planning needs, et cetera. So they've helped us and our clients numerous times. And also stick around for a big tips of the month. We have numerous tips of the month this time. So stick around for the end for that. And with that, let's get into it. So as you can see on the COVID, spiked up, down, it's moving down. So I believe, hopefully this might be one of the last variants as far as the big spike. Obviously it's going to mutate and change. That's what the viruses do to combat, to adjust to the vaccines. So that's what viruses do.
Sure. Yeah.
What else are you seeing on your end there?
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, it looks like spike up, but it looks like things are coming down from Delta over like Texas, Florida, hopefully in Ohio, seeing kind of things petering out, which is good, even though I know in Ohio, there's a lot of hospitals that are full and those types of things, but it appears though it's hopefully kind of towards the
waning.
Yeah. It's because more people get vaccinated, plus as people just get COVID, right? They're going to get natural antibodies, and hopefully we're,
So with that, though, since you brought up a good point, the natural antibodies. So on a call this week from Hedgeye, on one of the demographic calls that they had, one of our research partners, when you combine the vaccines that have been produced and out there, plus a natural immunity, it's 83%, folks. Ding, ding, ding. So 83% of Americans now have the natural herd immunity. So we're getting there. So despite what you may hear on TV, just we're getting it's winding down rather than getting started.
It's
progress
good.
made.
Yeah, still gotta be careful though. I mean, I know we got a couple buddies that got COVID. So it's like,
mask up, wear appropriately, wash your hands, distance, all that. So that's all part of it.
Sure.
For those who want to get shots, get your shots. But my point is, common sense.
Yep, common sense. That's right. Yep.
Good. So with that, now on the recovery tracker, which you'll see as well, there's a lot going on. But the one thing that jumped out at us is that weekly retail sales. So all year long, it's been elevated because of the money supply, the pumping of the government money spending and passing out money to everybody. So that's why you see that elevated there under the weekly retail sales, much elevated over 2020 and 2019. Another thing that we would point out is the steel production in tons. So you can see steel production, which crossed over, which is great, over the 2019 usage. So obviously 2020 was very low. It's crossed over 2019 amount of usage. So that's a good thing. Yeah. There's other points that you can point out there, but going back to the steel, so what's the increase on steel over the past 12 months? What would you think?
The percentage?
Yeah.
50%.
How about 400? 400, woohoo!
That's a big jump.
That's a big jump. So when people say there's parts of commodities and things, parts of it will spike up, spike down. But overall, inflation is not transitory. It is sticky. Yeah. So drilling in just a tad bit more on that. So again, going back to Hedgeye and other research partners that we use, we're going to see over 5% inflation CPI rate third quarter, fourth quarter, and first quarter
of next year.
So the next 3 quarters are elevated, and then it will drop below into the 4% range in the second quarter of 2022. So that is not transitory, as I said. So we've been saying this all year long, pounding the table, and that's why we've built the models the way we have. And then along with the models, we have commodities and some other things that we're using. Yep. Pushing money in like we've been doing, and we'll continue to do as the markets pull in some, and we're balanced and finalize things. So that's all coming along as nicely and as planned.
Yeah, good. Where's the Fed track? Where do they want inflation to be?
Inflation for that is 2.5%.
Okay.
So 2 point.
And where is it?
Excuse me. 2%. Sorry.
It's 2%.
2%. Yes. Yeah. Scratch that. 2%, folks. Too many numbers in my mind, but so 2%. And the average inflation has been about 1.75 for the last 10 years. So we're going to be 5. High 4s, 5, low 5s. For these upcoming quarters,
sure.
et cetera. So on a year-over-year basis, we'll be well into the 4% range for inflation, which is more than double.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Remember we talked about stagflation?
Yeah.
So stagflation is when you have inflation going up and growth slowing. That's quad 3. We've been saying that. We've positioned everything for the quad 3 as far as the cycle of the economy, what we're in. So that's what we do. Try to front run it, what we anticipate things, and do the best we can. Good question. That's where we're at with that. Let's move on to good old VIX, the volatility index. So the VIX spiked up as of today. It's about 20.63, which is an increase of 10.38% just today. So what time? It's about 2 o'clock, 2:30ish, what have you. So before I come in, I just checked to see what that was. So up 10% in one day in the volatility range. Again, the average is in the 18 range, so it's above, elevated over the 18, so over 20 now. Mm-hmm. But the volatility index does go up and down. Now let's talk about trading volume.
Yeah, why is that? Why is it so? What makes today so special?
Yeah, so good point. So today, there's a lot going on today. So today is good old Quadruple Witching Day.
Witching, like Halloween.
Halloween witching, yeah. So Quadruple Witching Day means this. It gets elevated. There are on 4 times of the year. So it's basically on the third Friday of March, June, September, which is today. Third Friday is today, and then December. So it's the third Friday of those 4 quarterly, 4 times a year. And this is when the expiration of 4 financial assets, they expire, they all come due here on the same day, pretty much also in the last trading hour, between 3 and 4. So you've heard me talk about when I like to trade.
Yeah.
So I strap in after 2:30 on it, so I'm bolted to the seat. So
I hear you in there.
You do. Occasionally you do. I get a little fired up. But so with that said, so the 4 asset classes, well, what are they? So it's stock options. Okay. You have single stock futures. Then you have stock index futures, and then you have stock index options. So again, stock options, single stock futures, stock index futures, and stock index options. So these are just what the traders do going out. They expire on a quarterly basis, et cetera. Obviously, there's other options and futures that can occur and come due on a monthly basis as well. But this is the 4 times a year when all 4 come together and expire on Friday, third Friday of those months I mentioned. So that's sort of what goes on. So today, volume, I'm curious, it might be 6 billion, it could hit 7 billion trades today. We'll see how crazy it is. But as you see in this chart, so one of the goofy things I do, I track trading volume. So on here, and there's a lot to take in, so take your time on this. The upshot's this: trading volume year to date, we're averaging approximately 4.6 billion trades a day. That's down 8% over last year's trading volume, which averaged approximately 5 billion trades a day, which was up 35% versus 2019 trading volume, which is only 3.7 billion trades. So 2019 is 3.7, 2020 is 5 billion, and 2021 is averaging currently 4.6 billion trades a day.
Okay.
So I track all that, and you'll see the spikes. A great example. So in February, you see the market pull down. We hit the most trading volume, 9.8 billion trades early in February there. And the point was this: that's when the S&P the S&P was down, about 2.57% during that particular day when the market pulled back a little bit. That was 9.8 billion trades. Then it goes down to quadruple witching. You'll see there 7.7 billion that occurred. And then, here's another one, the Russell index. So the Russell, certain indexes.
Small caps.
Yeah, small caps. They rebalance. They throw out some ones, put some new ones in.
Yeah.
So they have to re-adjudicate themselves, et cetera. So when that rebalance occurs, that was about 7 billion trades, as you'll see. So today, we anticipate when I close out today and put the number, I should see another big blue spike up at the at today's. So it's just interesting. It helps you predict, seasonality of things. September is the worst month of the year, so the volatility that's occurring now is not surprising to us. But
Sure. And the market was down already anyway.
Correct.
So it was kind of heading especially this week. We've had a lot of down days, pretty much every day. Yep. So you add this to the mix, and it just exacerbates.
You got it.
All right, yeah.
So that's why I just wanted to hit on that. It's timely for today because it's quadruple witching day.
Yeah, and that's a trade. Like if I buy a stock and sell it, that'd be 2 trades.
There you got it. A buy is 1, a sell is 1, it's 2.
That looks like my EKG report. I think,
that happens to be. No, that's great. Okay. So hopefully that clarifies. We've had some questions from clients over the past year or so, just about how things work, why do things spike. So and with today and the charts that I've been tracking, so I would hit that on today's episode.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. So we covered a lot there. We have obviously PPI numbers, CPI numbers. It's producer price index. Elevated, still up. Year over year is 8.3%. So 8.3% is year over year. So the past 12 months, we're up 8.3%. So that's higher. There's a cost for producing items and things of that nature.
Yeah. So what's going to happen at Christmas?
Meaning lack of supply. Yeah. So hopefully the supply chain opens up a little bit. Otherwise, it's just going to keep on ramping and going crazy.
As long as I can get my Cabbage Patch doll.
Cabbage Patch. That's what my girls would say. Daddy, get out there. No, I hear you. Yeah. And then CPI, inflation, we talked about that. But CPI, it's up 5.3% already from year over year. So 5.3%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just, so it's, again, more than 1.75. So
sure, yeah,
we're here. It's going to stick around for a little while.
Yeah. And speaking of like Christmas and supply and production, a lot of the retailers are kind of anticipating not slowdown, but I guess kind of bottlenecks right in the supply chain, like Best Buy, Target. They're stocking up on stuff pre-Christmas because there's a huge shipping container issue, right? Like with
tell me about that.
Yeah, so I was just
what's going on with the shipping containers?
That's right. Well, in 2020, I think it's 2020, the cost so if you had what they call it, a 40-foot container, those big containers you see on those ships coming into the harbors, the cost to ship one from China to California was around $3,000. All right. So if you're a retailer, you got to factor that into your cost, right? So guess what the cost is now today?
Say 369, about 9,000.
Okay, close. 20,000.
Is that it? Only 20?
$20,000. Yeah.
No inflation there, folks.
Yeah, 20,000. So so they're gonna, they're not gonna just. Right. I mean, they're gonna pay it, but they're gonna pass that on, right, to consumers. So.
Wow, that's huge.
That's significant. And plus, in the Los Angeles harbor, like historically, there wouldn't be any ships backed up. Now that at one point there were 40 cargo ships anchored, because there's not enough workers, they can't get them in.
And how long does it take to unload one ship? I mean, isn't it like weeks, I thought, for one ship?
I don't know.
Or, but it is somewhere in that range. But, so that's a months of inventory.
Yeah, they're backed up. Yeah, interesting.
Oh, my Lord. Well, good point.
We'll get there.
Yeah, have to unwind that. But since we're on that roll with what companies are doing and with the holidays, around the corner, can you believe next week is fall?
No, that's crazy. I love the fall.
Fall's my favorite. Yeah, no, I know. But with this, this is just an article from the Epic Times. So with that, Kroger So I was going to point out a few things came out September 12th. The CEO or CFO, Gary Milchup from Kroger, mentioned that he's warning that prices are going to become higher this year as inflation sets in. He's slated to see a rise in additional 2 to 3% over the second half of 2021, in addition to what's already increased for food costs. And he says, Kroger said, quote, passing along higher costs to the customer where it makes sense to do so.
Sure.
Thank you, Kroger. So my wife goes to Kroger and Giant Eagle and all these places, and it's our grocery bill is just ridiculous. So, so that's that. You have JBS, Tyson Foods, Cargill Meats, National Beef Packing. There's all those costs have risen. There's input costs, labor, transportation costs, wage increase. We have all that going on. Fuel costs. Hello. Then Nestle's warned. So Nestle's chief financial officer also acknowledges higher input costs in 2022 this year as well. He said, this is going back to the Nestle's guy, quote, if we talk of 2022, it's likely the input cost inflation will be higher next year than it is this year. Wow. So this year, next year, it's not transitory. It's sticky. And that affects everybody. And then one last one, the CEO of supermarket chain Albertsons, he said regarding inflation, it can go a little higher, but we have a strong consumer base in the U.S., he says. Meaning, thank you, folks. You're going to take it in the chin.
Yeah, we will.
Well, that's code for thank you. We may have another. So good. I know we're covering a few things there. We touched on that. We'll end on a few other tips of the month later on here, but let's go ahead and bring in our strategic partner. So Kip, we appreciate your time and expertise, and Andy, take it away.
All right.
This month's strategic partner, Kip Fetchero with Fetchero Insurance Agency, is not affiliated with True North Wealth Partners or Stratus Wealth Advisors.
Hey everybody, welcome back. And I'm here with Kip Fetchero with Fetchero Insurance Agency out of Westerville, Ohio. And they've been one of our strategic partners for a number of years now. And we're happy to have them on board. And they focus on primarily property and casualty insurance, although they do life insurance as well and other forms of insurance. And insurance is one of those things, as we're reviewing plans and we're talking through strategies for retirement, it's kind of something that, at least on the property and casualty side, can somewhat get overlooked at times, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kip, so I just want you take the floor for a few minutes and
Sure.
just, tell us a little about yourself, about the business. And
Sounds good. I appreciate you having me. I was always told I have a face for radio, so this is good to be here on a video. My dad started the insurance agency in the 80s, and I joined in 2009, and we're a family-owned agency in Westerville. We value educating our clients and really walking them through the policy, what's covered, why we think or why we recommend different coverages, and we really like to hold their hand. So it's a good fit, and I appreciate you having us here and talk a little insurance, which is always fun.
Yeah,
always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, and just as full disclosure, I'm actually a personal client of theirs as well, and so I know I needed a lot of hand holding.
Right,
so,
here.
Yeah, that's right. Help me. And in fact, even not too long ago, I may or may not have backed into a telephone pole. And,
really?
So they were on spot, and it was nice. So they took care of everything, which is great. So, but yeah, we appreciate you guys and appreciate you being here. Mm-hmm. So talking a little bit, I guess, kind of turning a little bit into, for our clients, so if I have, so obviously if I own a home, I'm required to have homeowners insurance. Sure. If I rent an apartment or a house, I'm going to have renter's insurance.
Yep.
I have an automobile. I'm required by the state, right, to have insurance. What are some, is there a type of policy or something maybe out there that gets overlooked a lot? Maybe that's not required by law, but that could potentially be a hole in someone's plan?
Absolutely. Now, if you're talking to a client right? They understand the value of investing. They understand the value of partnering with a strategic partner that can help them. We talk to a lot of clients, and we think an umbrella policy is often overlooked.
Okay.
An umbrella policy goes above and beyond all of your primary policies, and it provides another layer of protection. So usually it's in the amount of millions, right? So you can get a $1 million policy for $250 a year.
Oh, wow.
I like to think of it as sleep tight coverage, right?
Okay.
If you get into an accident, if you hit someone, that's where you really know the quality of the policy. Like that's where the rubber meets the road. So if you get into a bad accident, a sleep tight policy, an umbrella policy, you can kind of breathe some fresh air and say, I have an extra $1 million of coverage.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep tight at night. It just provides another layer of protection above all of your primary policies.
Okay.
And we think that's often overlooked. I don't think people look at their coverage a lot. I think they set it and forget it.
Yeah.
So we really like to go through those coverages with everyone.
Okay, good. And do coverages change that much? Like I know, like I think I get this book in the mail once a year or so, maybe.
Renewal.
And is that the renewal? Okay.
The coverages don't change unless you take action.
Okay.
So if you've had a policy that's been in effect for a long time, at one point it might have been okay, but as inflation rises, as the cost of living rises, right now it's really hard to get a rental.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get a rental for under a certain amount. So we've been increasing the rental car coverage so that if there is an accident, you don't have to come out of pocket.
Got it. That makes sense.
And the liability limit is another thing. Back in the day, a $100,000 bodily injury coverage was standard, and that was a good amount of coverage. That is since outdated. You need more than 100,000 of coverage.
Need more than that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yep. Especially too, you brought up a good point, like with the housing market the way it is, right? And as houses have continually gone up in value.
Yeah.
So I might have bought my house 10 years ago.
Sure.
And I got $300,000 coverage, but yet my house is valued at $400,000.
Yep.
So technically I'm underinsured, right? Is that how that works? Or is there?
It's more about the building costs. What's it going to cost to rebuild that structure, that home with the same like and kind? Okay. So one thing you don't insure is the land. So like the value of the land might go up, but you mentioned a good point. The value of, or the cost of lumber has gone up. So construction costs go up, which means your housing cost is going to go up as well. What's it going to take to rebuild that structure? Will also go up. So I think you constantly need to be evaluating things.
Okay. Is there like how often should someone like review their policy maybe if they don't do that?
We always say, what are the major life changes, right? If you get married, if you have a baby, when you buy a house, those are all good points to evaluate a lot of things in life, right? Financial planning is one of those, but also insurance, looking at the coverages, what's right at this time. And then obviously an annual review is always good.
Okay. Keep that on your radar then.
Yeah, absolutely. Just having that discussion. Hey, do we need to make any changes? What do you see in the marketplace? Are there new coverages available? For the longest time, service line coverage wasn't available through a home policy. Now you can get service line coverage, which is if your water pipe breaks or your gas line breaks or something. So new coverages come out all the time, and it's always good to have a discussion.
Yeah, that's excellent. And so, and you guys do, so you're an independent agent, you're an independent business, independent agency, meaning that, so you're not captive to any one particular company, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We have access to a lot of different markets. We're not captive to one certain carrier. We can look what's available in the marketplace and what best fits their needs, pricing, coverages.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Good.
My dad started as a captive agent.
Okay.
Back with a teacher's insurance company called Horseman.
Okay.
So he started the agency back in the 80s, and it was a good move by him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. So so if a client or someone wants to reach out to you to say, hey, I haven't really looked at my property and casualty insurance forever. If I send it to you, get it to you somehow, can you give me an audit? Or
We'd love to have a discussion. We're available phone, email. We'll set up a time that's convenient. We can look at everything. There's no obligation. We can say, hey, look, you need to tweak this and that, or everything looks good, or this is what we can provide, and this is why we think you need what you need.
Okay, perfect. And we'll go ahead and we'll put your information there on the screen for everyone watching. Yeah. And and feel free to reach out to Kip directly, or Eric and I. Also, you can reach out to us, and we'd be happy to put you in contact, or even sit in on those meetings, or help facilitate anything that we can to make sure that we can kind of check that off our list to make sure that, again, there aren't any blind spots in the planning process.
Absolutely.
So Kip, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. This is fun. This is the first podcast I've done, so this is really cool.
Yeah. We'll hopefully we have you back, and
absolutely.
Get your dad in here maybe. And
I like it.
Welcome back, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed that educational informational session with good old Andy Man.
yeah. Kip's a good guy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So got to buckle up that umbrella insurance, right?
Yeah. I was talking with him off air.
Yeah.
Did you know, like, if I'm on 10T and I shank it and it hits your window, my insurance covers that. My homeowner's insurance.
Beautiful. Amen. Good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So folks plan.
He told me I should triple mine.
The way you golf, right? No, that's me. No, you're steady Eddie. That's great. So, all right, this is tips of the month. Now we have a lot going on, so let's just start out with a few facts. So, all right, Andy man, what's the FICO score? What's been going on with people with flush with cash savings? So what's the number?
Paying off debt.
600.
Yeah, I'd say might get the average. I'd say it's gone up 650.
Okay, a little higher. It was around that. It's now 711. So 711 is the average FICO score right now.
All right, way to go, America!
Way to go, America! So
now we get the government to do the same. Right?
Oh, jeez,
pay off their debt.
Get me started. No. All right, but yeah. So that's that. So a couple things I want to share with you. So there's an Ohio Ohio Unclaimed Funds website, which is great. So a story that I had a bill, United Healthcare bill at the time. This is going back, a long time, 15, 20 years ago, what have you. And there's an unclaimed fund in the state of Ohio. Yeah. I moved away to the East Coast, and I was at T. Rowe Price there and all that. And a buddy of mine at Riviera Golf Club, when it was still around, he says, Eric, I see your name in the paper, unclaimed funds, $54. I'm like, really? So I went on the website, Ohio Unclaimed Fund website, and voila, there's my money, filed it, got the check. Funny. So yes, I bought him a beer.
Yeah, that's great. I wonder if my Hair Club for Men refunds, I wonder if it's out there.
That's great. No, so be aware of that, folks. You have the Ohio Unclaimed Funds. And also in Ohio, state of Ohio, it was released here from the Ohio Department of Insurance. This is on September 14th. So September is Life Insurance Month, Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. So with the September Ohio Life Insurance Awareness Month, the NAIC, which is called the National Association of National Association of Insurance Commissioners, National Association of Insurance Commissioners, based out of Kansas. They have matched nearly 5,000 Ohioans with approximately $81 million in unclaimed funds for insurance proceeds.
Wow.
So that's big money that spouses were not aware of. So free money that these insurance carriers are sitting on.
Wow. So if my spouse passed away, or even someone in my family, maybe they had me as a beneficiary, and I didn't know about it. It's just going to sit there. Okay. So it's worth checking into.
It is. And how you do that. So Nathan, our magic man, our producer, will put it up there for you, the links for all this. But click on it. You have to do a login, sign in, and then just input some personal information. It will then go directly to the NAIC in Kansas City, and they will notify you. And what they do, once they get that, it's an inquiry. They then post it out to all the insurance companies have to participate in this. So it's thousands of carriers or what have you. And then if there's a match, that insurance company will directly email you directly within 90 business days.
Oh, that's great.
So that's how that is. It's free money. Check it out, folks. Siblings, parents, what have you. One last thing I want to talk about, tips of the month, is pertaining to this is the unclaimed funds for 401k, the forgotten 401k. So a couple stats. It's come from Kiplinger, but the point is this, and we'll post a website too. As of May 2021, there's more than $1.3 trillion, $1.3 trillion of forgotten 401k accounts out there for over 24 million folks. So there's 24 million folks, $1.3 trillion sitting there with an average account balance of $55,400.
Wow.
That's the money sitting there.
That's crazy.
That is. So please register, hit the unclaimedretirementbenefits.com. We'll get that website for you. So if you, again, change jobs, to your point in the past, it happens. People move and
That's right.
people forget about money sitting around. So check that out as well. And then obviously there's that Pension Benefit Guarantee Corp. That's for pensions. So you have the pension check website. You can check that out. Your 401k. Then obviously you have the State of Ohio unclaimed funds. Then you have the NAIC life insurance.
Excellent.
Those are the four things that one can check in on, and we'll provide those links to you.
That's a good, that's good. That's a great resource. Yeah, you just don't, I mean, who thinks of that? Nobody.
No one does. So.
Yeah, that's good though. They have that available.
Yeah. So clients, as you listen and take that to heed and just think through your family members and go through all that. And then lastly, let's end on the good old news. So natty gas. So you know me. I got my spreadsheet. I track natty gas. Natural gas.
Yeah,
natty gas. That's a nickname for it.
Natty gas sounds like something else.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So you and I, we talked about this over the episodes here. So natural gas used to be the most volatile commodity.
Yep.
What is now the most volatile commodity?
Let me guess. Bitcoin.
So you had personal exposure to that at one time. So now it's number 2 spot. So it's dropped down to number 2. So natural gas, beginning of the year, $2.59 as of January 1st. Right now it's like around 5.34. Earlier this week, it hit 5.6 this week, 5.6. My point is this, it's an excess of well over 100%, more than doubled, over 100% increase in natural gas prices year to date, and we're not even into winter yet.
I was going to say, just wait till we hit winter, right? Wow.
And folks, there's no inflation.
Yeah.
Jeez, I tell you, our government is so out of touch. So that is that, and then a couple things just to end on. We'll cue this up for later on, further episodes, but people need to be aware of this. So California, and we'll talk about charts and the green, all that stuff. So we're already green, and we have a chart that we'll share with you later. But we're green already. We're good.
What do you mean green? Oh, we're like leading the world.
Leading the world and least
ESG,
amount of pollution in the air. So we have that. We'll share
one of the few countries.
One of the few, right? Yep. We'll share that with you later. India, China, and other ones are the most corrupt ones as far as destroying the air and all that stuff. So California is going to plan to open 5 new natural gas plants to avoid blackouts.
Yeah.
Okay. So this came out August 20th, 2021. There's a video out there from the energy. His name is Patterson. It's about an 11-minute video, but there's a print on this. So what they need in order to stop the brownouts and rollouts, all that stuff, so they need 30 megawatts of power. So 5 plants at 30 is 150 megawatts is what they need to be powered by natural gas. And it's just mind-boggling. And this guy just went into it. He teared it onto them. So it's such hypocrisy and all this other stuff going on. But so that's what they're going to be doing at a cost of $171.5 million per plant. Take that times 5. So that's a great use of California's money and how they double talk, among other things. That's point 1. Point 2 is even worse. Excuse me. So China is to build 43 new coal-fired power plants. 43, folks. Drop the mic. They're already the most, before COVID was here, remember how China used to have cloudy days and smog? They wear masks well before COVID. So this is going to get worse. That's who you want to press on, folks. So we talked about the Great Reset. Watch that. It's a 5-minute video. Google it up, the Great Reset 5-minute video. Google that. You'll see it. It's a guy talking all about what's to come. So that explains it well. And it's a shame. Again, the people who gets away, and it's bad. So we just want to bring that to light. Hopefully, we keep it real here at True North Wealth Partners. Anything else? All right.
No, that's good.
All right. With that said, we appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Hopefully you picked out a few items here of learning, and we'll continue to monitor, rebalance, tweak our portfolios, and a little more volatility these next few weeks. In the back half of the year, it gets
should be hopefully be a decent finish.
Seasonality effect. Like I said, this is the low point of the year, and then take advantage of that, and then move on. And we'll see. There's a lot of policy issues there. Lots still to work a way out, but GDP is growing but slowing, and inflation's there. So
we'll get through it.
Yep. All right, folks. You guys take care. Happy fall.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
You can reach this episode on our website at mytruenorthwp.com, by other podcast venue sites, or by calling us at 614-929-2715. Also, feel free to share this episode with friends and family and sign up for our weekly email market updates via our website. Special thanks to our producer Nathan, as we will be producing these episodes on a monthly basis. Investment advice offered through Stratus Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor, DBA True North Wealth Partners. Investing involves substantial risk. True North Wealth Partners and Stratus Wealth do not make any guarantee or other promise as to any results that may be obtained from this. The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. The economic forecasts set forth in this material may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. No reader should make any investment decision without first consulting his or her own personal financial advisor and conducting his or her own research and due diligence.